All right, so here we are again back at our website, and as you can see, I went ahead and logged in so that I can edit. And I just wanted to briefly show you some of the things that you can do. So if I click this little button right here, the Edit Page button, you'll see that I can come back into this space here and I can type things. I can do some formatting similar to what you might do in a Google Doc or a Word document. I can change the color of the text, so let's change it to red. So I can do that. And so all of this is the text editor. I have the heading here I can change. And then if I want to get more technical, I can move over to the HTML editor. So all of these different widgets and gadgets down here were added by copying and pasting an embed code here into the HTML editor, which might seem complicated, but it's really not that complicated. And would be pretty easy for anyone to learn how to do. So that's the actual nuts and bolts of the website. If you want, you can make new pages. Like by clicking this here, I can create a new page. I can name it. And then clearly you can also link your pages together, right? So by creating links, which you can do in the text editor. So right, like this link right here was created using the text editor and this little button right here that says add or remove link. Right, so I'm going to cancel that. All right, so that's the website itself. There are lots of great website building tutorials out there. Now, I used Scribed, like I mentioned before, to upload. So if you just go to upload, and then you can select a file from your computer, just like you would any other kind of document. And then once you've uploaded it, if I go to my uploads and I click on a document, then as you can see, you can pull this up in your web browser, and it shows me my document here. And then if I want to embed it in my website, then I just get the embed code, which is going to be right here. So I just click embed. It gives me this code that pops up right here, or that's the link, my bad. Here's the embed code, so I would just copy and paste. And then I would go back over here to my website editor, go to HTML, and then I just copy and paste, and then I hit update, and then save, and then that same document that I was just looking at is now here in this web page. So as you can see, like I mentioned, it's actually pretty simple. And then if I want to get rid of it, I can just delete all of this and go back to my HTML editor and go ahead and delete all of that, and then click update, and there we go. All right, so that's that. The next thing that I want us to look at is the Google form that I created. So this is the Google form that I went through Google Drive. So it's pretty straightforward. If you go to drive.google.com, and so this is the home page, and if I click create, I can go to the form, right? And then I can type in here the title. I can create questions, multiple choice, paragraphs. I can create different pages. And then once I've done that, I can actually see the results because it creates this spreadsheet. So everything that I type in, here's what I typed in earlier. So it gives me a timestamp, so I know exactly when students did it. I can get their name and then the question, the answer that they chose, so I can see if they got it right. And then if you know how to use spreadsheets, you could pretty simply, set up some formatting to figure out if they got it right or not and what percentages. This is not an Excel tutorial, but that can be a very useful tool for a teacher because you can use it to make all kinds of charts and graphs and to aggregate and disaggregate your data in lots of different ways, which is a very important skill for a teacher. So let's say that you've done all of that. Students have gone through all the stuff. Here's Screencast-O-Matic, the website. Since I'm actually using Screencast-O-Matic right now, I can't actually bring up the program on my computer to show you. But just know that that's what I'm using, and there is a demo here at the website, screencast-o-matic.com, if you'd like to watch it. It's very straightforward. So let's say that students have gone through the website. They have, completed the video, they've looked through the handouts, they have done the form to show that they understood, and now they just want to study. So then they might move over to Quizlet. And so this is what Quizlet looks like. It's a place to create flashcards. So I'm going to show you a set of flashcards that I made for world history. So this is the place where if I want to create new flashcards or edit them, I can. But let's take a look at what it actually looks like as a set of flashcards, right? So here we see this.
List of major world religions.
You can see it will read it out loud to you. Then you can see the answers.
1. Hinduism 2. Judaism 3. Buddhism 4. Christianity 5. Islam.
You can have it create quizzes for you based on what's on the flashcards. I can go only multiple choice questions. So see, Quizlet is making this for me. I don't have to do anything, which is awesome. Next up, I can play a game where I have to like type in, or I have to match up, and it gives me timing. So like Greek rationalism goes with that. Hinduism, castes. So that goes right there, etc., etc. There's like a typing race. So as you can see, there are a lot of cool things you can do with Quizlet. You can also share these sets. So I've created various classes. You can see over here, right? So let's take a look at the French one. So it will also do various languages, right? So if you're trying to learn a foreign language or you're teaching a foreign language, Quizlet will actually read these flashcards out loud to you in a foreign language, which is pretty neat.
Les vêtements.
So there's les vêtements.
The clothes, clothing.
Clothes, clothing. You can create your own sets. You can share them with other people. You get to pick which language you want them in. It's a pretty neat website. So those are the major different pieces of technology or apps and software that students might use in my classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my PowerPoint and wrap up. So as I mentioned, students might access the classroom website using their smartphone or laptop. Then I might introduce something new in the classroom on a projector if I needed to. Each night, students might be prompted to watch a short video clip that I created using Screencast-O-Matic and uploaded to YouTube, then embedded in the website. They may respond to questions submitted using a Google form. And then finally, students might use Quizlet to study content, vocab, and ideas. So these are some of the technologies that I use in my classroom. They've been pretty effective for me so far and for students. Students often are very complimentary and they feel like, I get requests like, when are you going to make more videos? Like, are we going to have a video for this lesson, etc. And I think they're good for students because, for one thing, it allows students to access the information whenever they want, which I know that I'm not very good with keeping up with papers. So if there's electronic access, that works really well for me. Plus, they basically can repeat the lesson as many times as they need to. So hopefully this was informative and gave you a good overview of how I use technology in my classroom. Thanks a lot and have a great Christmas break.